Hey, how's it going? Today I'm talking about strengthening for inner knee pain. This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury-prone RunDisney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line. So if you have inner knee pain, and I'm talking about like the spot on the inside of your knee where it's touching the other knee. You could be knock-kneed, it could be just sore. Maybe you've had an MCL injury, a meniscus injury. Some people with runner's knee, it starts creeping over. There are other types of problems like pes-anserine bursitis. It's a type of bursitis of the bursa, a type of inflammation of the bursa that's on that inner side, kind of below the knee, the top of the shin, below the knee, but it's on the inside. So I'm talking about strengthening different muscles and what to be mindful of when you have pain in this part of your knee. So a few things that you want to be mindful of is first, look at the position that your leg is in. So if you're just standing barefoot, look in a mirror and look to see what your knees are doing. Are they knocking toward each other? Do they touch each other? Like when you try and put your feet together, can your feet actually touch? Or do your knees touch first and then you can't put your feet together? That means that you are knock-kneed. Now, if you are standing there with your feet together and you have a gap between your knees, that would be bow-legged. So that's the opposite. So that's not what I'm talking about today. So you want to be mindful of that position. And then look down further at your foot. How is your foot positioned? Do you have a flat foot? Is it pronated where your arch is collapsed? Maybe it's not quite flat, but it's not a high arch. Like maybe your friend has, my husband and his mom, they both have very high arches. So you can see them. They do not have flat feet. Somebody else who has flat feet, the arch is dropped and the whole foot touches the ground. And then, so you want to be mindful of those two positions when you're doing these strengthening exercises. And that's because if you can get out of those positions, so if you have what's called a functional flat foot, where you are flat, but you can pull yourself out of that, when you're doing your strength exercises for your knees, pulling your foot out of that flat foot position as best you can while you're doing the exercises is best, because when you're already in that position, you're strengthening in the position that you're in. So you're reinforcing that position that your foot's in. Now, not everybody can get out of that position. You may just have flat feet, and that's okay. But if you can, pull those arches up just a little bit higher. Same thing for the knock-knee position. If you can adjust your knee position, which it may be adjusted just by changing the position of your foot, go ahead and pull your knee out of that position just as best as you can while you're doing the exercise, because we want to reinforce better posture, better alignment when we can. Again, you may not be able to, and that's okay. And then when we are strengthening for inner knee pain, you also want to be mindful of how much hamstring work you are doing. Because remember when I talked about that pes-anserine bursitis? Well, your pes-anserine area is made up of two of your hamstring muscles. So if you're doing excessive hamstring work, you may inadvertently be aggravating that area, which is then just flaring up that inner knee pain again. So be mindful of how much hamstring work you're doing if you do have knee pain there. Okay, so now that we are mindful of our knee position, we are mindful of our foot position, and we're mindful of not overdoing it with our hamstrings, the major muscle groups that we want to be strengthening are our glutes and our calf muscles. And of course, the glutes are a major role player in knee problems. I've said it, other people have said it, where your glutes are your biggest hip muscles, and your hip muscles, and your hips pre-position where your leg is in space. So it's going to directly affect how your knee is in space and where pressure is added, which then means if you have pressure on the inner knee, you can have more inflammation. If you have more inflammation, you can have more pain. So when we take that pressure off, when we take that inflammation off, we have the potential to take off that knee pain. So then we can run without knee pain. We can go up and down stairs without knee pain. We can squat, we can lunge, we can bend down to tie our shoes, we can kneel to do those exercises that maybe we've wanted to do in the past but haven't been able to. So when you're doing strength exercises for the inner knee pain, you want to keep a lookout on how you're positioned during the exercise, making sure you have good knee alignment, good foot alignment, and not overdoing it on your hamstrings. Before you go, I want to invite you to the newest glute workout for runDisney runners. This glute workout program is 12 workouts for glutes only that don't include squats or lunges. You told me you want more exercises to build strong glutes that aren't squats and lunges. If you're interested in building strong glutes with exercises that don't aggravate your knees, I invite you to sign up for the interest list so you get notified first when the program opens. In addition to first dibs, you'll receive discounts and special bonus offers. Click the link in the description to go register for that interest list now. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.